A very good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. For a change, we would be talking about an issue which has not been dealt very deeply in the last 3 days, which is disability. To begin with, I would first like to introduce here who we are. The people sitting on the panel as well as us are from Handicap International. I'm Bindya Vachhani. I work for Handicap International in the India program. I have a colleague of mine, Rushikesh, again from India. We have our advocacy advisor, Sondrin, and Andrew, who's the regional project coordinator. This is a presentation about some of our efforts that we did with the support from European Commission, and which was implemented in Orissa with the support of, with the partnership of Orissa State Disaster Management Authority. And through this presentation, we try to bring forward to you some of the learnings on disability inclusion on disaster risk management. To begin with, what we do in this 15 minutes, we will hear people with disabilities. I'm sure we haven't heard people with disabilities in the session. Let's hear what are the different challenges that they face with regard to disaster. What are their voices? What do they want to say? Then we will share very briefly about some of the ingredients of what makes into a disability inclusive DRR. And then we will show you an innovation that we have done with the existing structures at the community level and how we have got it integrated. So we'll begin with a very short video from our community.
When disaster strikes, persons with disabilities are far more vulnerable than others. During disasters, they suffer disproportionately. Persons with disabilities remain largely excluded from community-based disaster risk reduction programs because they tend to form an invisible segment of the population. Persons with disabilities are often left out of warning dissemination process.
जे बात्या हम जे सूचना का दिया जाउची मोर तो मोर निजे ही नहीं चलते मते मुश्किल छुआटा उन्हें मी किंदारी.
Persons with disabilities are also left out of mainstream society during a disaster because of their limited access to shelters.
मुगड़े नुआ व्हीलचेयर पाइथिली ब्लॉक ऑफिस रु माने बात्या हेतु भांगी मो व्हीलचेयर टी भांगी गला सेकेंड थर ब्लॉक को गला परे मो व्हीलचेयर कहिबा हेतु मते से कहले जे 3 वर्ष परे पुणी मिलिबो.
Persons with disabilities are usually the last to receive food and other assistance materials.
और विपर्य समय रे हमर जो रिलीफ दिया जायतला से रिलीफ मध्ये मु पाई परिनी मु विकलांग तो जाई परि नाही.
What we really wanted to highlight through this small video are basically 3 messages. One, the early warning system doesn't reach persons with disability, not just because of physical issues, but because of social inclusion issues, because of access to information issues. The second thing which we wanted to highlight through this video is the fact that persons with disabilities are usually left out in the registration process, and physical accessibility becomes a big challenge for them even to participate in any DRR processes that we are talking about. Let's do a quick self-reflection. Let's look at how often do we hear people with disability? How often do we hear or see them? Let's look around this conference. How many people with disability do we actually see? If we have to believe the government census or if we have to believe the UN figures, it says 10% of people with disabilities. And in a forum where there are 3,000 people, how many do we actually come across? How many of them actually participate in the community committees that we have? Leave aside community committees. Let's look here. How many of them are up there in panel talking about their issues? How often do we collect information, and how often do we collect information and use the information on people with disability? This is the biggest challenge with regard to the nexus between disaster and disability. We do not have segregated data on how disaster impacts disability or people with disability. Is disability an issue? Why are we all here to talk about it? Or why do we have the side event? If we are talking about an accountability issue, if the UN figures have to be believed, it's not me, but UN figures, it talks about 10% of the world population to be persons with disability. And can we ignore them? If we talk about impartiality, can we discriminate against this group? I mean, it is not a conscious discrimination, but it is a subconscious discrimination where we do not engage with them. We talk about efficiency. We have been talking a lot about efficiency, early warning systems. Can any early warning system be effective if it doesn't cater to the entire community? There's this big 10% section of any community which is always left behind. So these are things for us to think about. Is disability negotiable? I mean, I sometimes wonder, why am I standing here and talking? I mean, do we actually voice for it? Most of our countries have signed the Convention on Persons with Disability. We are here to review the HUGO framework, and HUGO framework clearly identifies the priority number 4, but are we talking about it? How often within the past 4 days have we talking about disability? Let me now share you some of our experiences which we started doing about 4 years back with the support of European Commission. We wanted to integrate people with disability in disaster management processes. What the next few slides would be basically what we learned from working within the community, what we learned at the advocacy level, and what we basically learned at safety and accessibility level. Within the communities, one thing that we realized for us was to unpackage the terminology vulnerability. It was very important for us because there were people with disabilities, there were men, women, children, but they were not able to access services because of their specialized need, which were not being addressed. These were the prerequisites. And another second thing that we realized by working was that, we did not want to create ghettos of people with disability. There was an integration. That is what we were talking about. We were talking about mainstreaming them. So we started working with the existing groups. We started working with the existing task forces and tried to integrate people with disability within the task forces, not just as the recipient, but as an active member. Because a lot of us feel that people with disabilities needs to be helped. That's not true. We need to demystify vulnerability. They have capacity which we need to reinforce. The third issue was with regard to specialized needs. What are these specialized needs? These specialized needs are the rehab needs. People with disabilities need rehabilitation, that's for sure. They need assistive devices such as wheelchairs, crutches. If you do not provide them, can we anticipate that they can reach up to the podium and they can reach up to the distribution points? Another issue with regard to assistive devices stockpiling, we realize that most of the people with disabilities, either they become disabled during the disaster or even before, they lose their stockpiling, they lose their assistive devices. Can we look at, most of the organizations do have assistive, stockpiling. Can we look at assistive devices being put as a stockpiling issue?
In most of the communities, always we talk about accessibility is a big issue. But accessibility doesn't mean that only having a physical accessibility. Accessibility also includes the persons with disability have access to information in the community. They have access to the groups to discuss the issues, the challenges they face in disaster. And they also have access to the mainstream system so that they have access to information of cyclone warning. They have access to information of relief, distribution, and other things. So, but how we can do that? It is not only a physical accessibility. We have to mainstream them in other areas as well. But there is nothing like ready-made solution to these problems. So we have to think up out of the box, and we have to be creative, looking at the situation on the ground. So that is, I think, where we need to work out. We are sure that we know that many of the organizations, they are very focused on DRR, and some of them are working on disability as well. Both the organizations have a clear mandate in their respective areas. But when you look to the community level, we see always there is a gap. And we as organization need to bridge that gap. There is a need at both the end. Disability, it is never we have to think of in the planning process, it should not be an afterthought, because many of us think that a building has been done, then we'll do a ramp. It is not something that we want to do in all our programs. It should be a part of the planning process, so then people take it into account. The policymakers think in terms of resource allocation, manpower deployment, even also understanding the situation. That is why we need to have a concrete planning on that. Yes. As I said, that there is a need for financial and resource planning, and we need to also integrate in our strategic documents so that the disability sections, the community, the persons with disability have a special focus in our operation. Could you go to next one, please? Here, something we have done innovation in Orissa with the Orissa State Disaster Management Authority. We would like to bring it to your notice.
जे बात्या हम जे सूचना का दि जाऊँगी मोर से ये ना मोर तो मोर निजे ही नहीं चलते मत मुस्कुल छुआटा को नेमी किंतारी मोर छुआ पुआ छाड़ दे मु पूरा माने छाड़ दे मु डेई पड़ी पूरा या जुगुरु मु तो कहने जाई पारुनी माने झाड़ा परिश्रम करते छुआ जाई पारुनी खाइबा सोइबा सब त्याग मोर गुटाक बेल के पुआ केही तो मन नहीं ता कतरा जणे रहिबो जणे बाट को बाहरिबो।
Orissa, the East Indian state, has witnessed several disasters like floods and cyclones owing to its geoclimatic location. Experiences coupled with coping strategies has built a culture of preparedness from a traditional relief approach. Robust cyclone shelters equipped with skilled task forces respond to disasters locally. Vulnerable groups, such as persons with disabilities, are usually invisible in the disaster risk management process. Handicap International attempts to demonstrate successful inclusion of persons with disabilities into community-based disaster risk reduction. Disability inclusive capacity building is community strength. Accessible shelter and skilled human resources reduce vulnerability to a great extent through receiving trainings and practicing disability inclusive mock drills.
वर्तमान आम सूचना पाई विभिन्न माध्यम आम लोक मानक जनाऊँ विशेषकर भिन्नक्षम लोक मैंने आसी पहुँची पार्थिबारु आम बहुत खुशी अनुभव करूँ।
With increased abilities, persons with disabilities have not only helped themselves but have also been able to help others. Persons with disabilities are trained to disseminate early warning, act as rescuers using special equipment and techniques. This has reduced vulnerability of the entire community.
विपर्जय समय विपर्जय पर सेल्टर बंधु बांधव मैंने आमको नहीं बहुत किसी सहायता देइछंती आगो को हमर उन्नति पथ निश्चित आगो को अछि।
This is just a drop in an ocean. Many more lives need to be touched. Many more villages to be reached. The journey has only just begun.
This is a kind of only one intervention we have done in one village, but there are many villages which need such intervention. And we have to self-reflect ourselves. Have we done enough? Have we done enough for this section of people? And there is a question left for all of us to rethink on this issue. I think now I request...
The time is finished, but have we done enough? Then if you are interested to discuss it, we can discuss on the side here, and we can have a deeper conversation. Thank you very much for coming.